Why don't we like nerd out to start with? And do you mind just like telling us what about your studio and the work you do there, and what would make you do certain things there, and then when you go to other places, and like how you handle the whole crossover between different zones?
I used to worry about it a lot more, and now I just tend to only go other places to track things.
Right.
I only ever mix here now, really. In fact, yeah, I only mix here, sort of by request. I think it would take a reasonable amount for me to go anywhere else. To be honest.
Yeah,
I'd be reluctant.
what was like the crossover that made that happen?
Having a nice room, and my speakers sound very good here, so I'm very comfy here, and I think probably a bit more bass in the monitoring system than occurs in most studios. So.
Oh, interesting.
British studios, anyway, are very bass light, pretty much all of them.
Right. Did you take a while like dialing that in, or is it just kind of the way the room happens to sound?
It's this Geithain monitoring system that's just sounds the same everywhere. It's brilliant.
I haven't seen those over this part of the world. Is that which ones are they? Is that the smaller ones, or?
Yeah, I have really tiny RL 906s, and they are outrageous. I could probably move it around and show. Hand-sized.
Nice.
It's pretty small.
So they're like dual concentric and everything?
Yeah, which is all the things I don't like. Ported, dual concentric. Really small, tiny driver. They're ridiculous.
Wow.
And they don't work in front of a console at all. You need to be really in front of them. So.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
I'm sort of that. And then I have the PMCs, which are amazing for just insane detail. They're quite bright, but they're shock and awe for writing sessions.
Right. Okay. Cool. Nice. And any of those like linked up with the sub or anything? I can't believe that we're starting by talking about subwoofers and stuff, but we've got to go there.
This is my friends will be really laughing now. Yes, they are definitely. Everything's linked up to the sub.
Okay. Hey, do you have like one sub that different speakers are linked up to, or do they have their own for the?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you got a dangerous system in there as well, right? So do you have it dialed at different levels, or?
Yeah, it's all set up. That's a great system. That's been amazing.
Awesome.
That's a huge difference.
Oh my God. You guys, do we go there on the whole, like just nerding out on monitoring systems when Emre has a like lifetime of experience and creative insight? Some of this is important though, because every other stream in here, Emre, we're kind of talking about speakers, and I'm basically like a massive advocate. I use Avantones for like 98% of my work, just also going into random rooms. It's like the ones that kind of aggravate the room as little as possible, if you know what I mean. Actually, Swamp of Life, who's Michael up in Sonoma County in California, in the chat, we had a big thread on Complete Producer Network where he kept asking people what their dream monitoring system was, and we kept talking about the practicalities of monitoring instead of actually giving him an answer. So can I ask you, just like on that front, in terms like, you've been in studios for decades now at this point. You've been in that room for a while, but like, what has your process been in terms of figuring out what you like to be hearing at different stages of when you're working?
I like fairly full range, quite quiet.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I like.
Right. What led you to that kind of realization? Hearing
mixes in other places that I'd done here. I mean, I always mix quite quietly, but pretty cool. I occasionally will give it some level, but mainly fairly full range. Well, very full range. Not that pokey. Like the Geithains are really pretty flat, but not rolled off flat like ATCs or something.
Okay.
They go all the way down, and in a not particularly polite way, which is great.
But in terms of like finding that's what works for you with like the end result, because like what percentage would you say of your work is mixing? Like you do a ton of mixing, right?
Yeah, loads of mixing.
So what was it that like got you realizing that was actually getting you the results you needed?
I guess I've always done that and haven't really done much else. So and it seemed to work out.
Okay. So you just started that way and just kept going?
Yeah, and luckily that seems to be quite a cool thing. But I really like the PMCs for sitting inside the mix and feeling you're literally in a world of music that's punching you in the face. They're quite cool, and I sometimes listen to those quite loud. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm up a little bit for, like, if it's real bass music, I will have a bit more club feeling level,
right?
To to sit in the middle of the dance floor, basically.
Okay, cool.
That's quite fun, but not that often.
Oh, question.
No, there's no dB level. It probably is reasonably consistent. It's because I do it all the time, but I wouldn't know what it was.
Right. So
it's definitely not. It's probably not 83 dB or something like that.
So you just have like a basic feel for how loud you like it to feel.
Yeah.
You know roughly where that is.
And if I look on my Dangerous and look at the meters, it's often quite similar levels. Okay. So, yeah.
Nice. Swamp is just asking what the name was of your little coaxial speakers again.
I will type it in because.
Okay.
Where are they?
Okay. Oh, look at that. Nice. Where are they? Are they British or where are they made? Do you know?
No, German. They're
German.
They're
okay.
Huge in Germany. I think they've sold like 500,000 speakers or something in Germany.
Oh my god.
Crazy. But these are made for outside broadcast.
Okay.
So they're the larger ones have a cardioid bass response, which is amazing for rooms. It's quite wild behind them. You know.
Yeah.
It's really. But they are really expensive.
Okay, well said.
Like really expensive.
Should we have an explainer for folks what the implications of cardioid bass response just in the chat? Like, do you want to tell people like
more bass coming out the front for you, rather than causing a problem and cancellations by screaming out the back of the speakers.
Yeah. So yeah, traditionally everyone like bass tends to radiate like all around the place, and then the higher the frequencies, the more directional the sound is. So that's where like you know you have your speakers against a wall. It makes a big issue. You have them in a corner. It does all crazy stuff. So it sounds like basically, were you saying it's like they're just way more consistent from room to room?
These are amazingly consistent, but you have to be in front of them for these ones. The larger ones are better, the 901s, but the 901s are 17,000 quid or something.
Okay,
so
okay, that's a good investment.
Yeah. And they're kind of slightly old tech now, because you can get the Genelec stuff's amazing with the SAM system. It's unreal. When you see that being used by someone who knows what they're doing, it's pretty impressive.
Okay, cool. Actually, I think that's what Swamp might have gone for.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. And he's asking if you've ever used the Equator stuff.
Oh. Yeah, badass Genelecs now. They are on a different level. And then I really loved LA-based Mr. Ausberger's trios.
Okay.
Which are the most fun speakers I've ever sat in front of, definitely.
Fun in what way?
Oh, they're fun. They're terrifying. they can be doing like 130 SBL and you can't even tell.
Right. What, like so clean? You just think, can you turn it up more?
It's fine. Yeah, it's cool. And,
oh my god! Actually, I'm having flashbacks to doing mixes with Cameron Craig and Uncle in Metropolis, and I'm trying to crank it up and like getting like the text coming in and James Avell being like, "Can we go louder in here?" And they're just going, "It's louder than you think. It's louder than you think."
Yeah.